Hi, it's Ed Lyons at Flint Optometry in Wolverhampton, and this morning I've been lucky to be joined by Sandy from Scotland, who I'm sure quite a few of you know from Bywell Shooting Ground now. And you've been shooting for 35 years, haven't you?
Yes,
all
my life. Yeah.
Shot on the Scottish team for 8 years, I think, in sporting. And we're looking to try and find some visual advantages because we've got that hunger back to get back to shooting as well as you possibly can. So, what made you want to come and see me?
Well, I'd held many good reports about you. I've seen you on YouTube, and I thought, well, if I'm going to do it, come the best in the world. Simple as that.
And we found some really interesting things about your eyesight. And what's happened is potentially, as we discussed, you've been used to having vision that's better than normal. And when you're used to having vision that's better than normal, particularly in the one eye, when we get these little changes in the other one, we start to adopt these compensation strategies where we find workarounds.
Yes.
And I think your workarounds have been subconscious, and we know that you've shot to an extremely high level. So it was interesting to see now that the eye that correlates with your shooting shoulder is a little bit off the pace.
Yeah.
But what we found with a really gentle little prescription lens, it can actually see to a level that's better than normal.
Yes.
And in the past, you tried some prescription inserts in your pillars, but I think what happened with these is the prescription was too strong, and it was making you feel a bit disorientated, and it just felt a bit too much.
Yes.
And you've been shooting without them since.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're looking at doing some of the Edwards Eyewear Hiroki 2 frames with a series of different colour lenses. We want something for bright light, something for low light, and also something to help you pick up the orange targets against the background, because we know that there is a little bit of red-green colour deficiency there. And with some of the tints that we looked at, they make absolutely no difference at all. And then others have that sort of wow moment of being able to really pick up the target.
Certainly do, yes.
So we're also looking at improving the way you use your eyes, because again, as we said, you've got really good visual skills, but some of them need polishing. And we need to look at improving that peripheral awareness. We need to improve that quiet eye technique of keeping the eyes still and tapping into that zone and almost getting you back into the subconscious shooting. But if we try to do that consciously, it starts to get a bit tricky. So we're going to use the Vision Training Kit 4, which has got some of the physical kit and the 6 months worth of access to the app, which is going to help you just put these little bits of polish. And from the 10 visual skills that we analysed, as we said, if we can find half a target from improving each one of those, then that makes a measurable difference to the end.
Yes, certainly.
So did you find it interesting?
I am speechless, to be honest, how good this was and how informative it was, and so easy.
And as you said, as an instructor, we know that there's a process. And we know that we're not necessarily expecting, as soon as the glasses have come, for everything to be instantaneously perfect. And we know that there's a bit of a relearning process, and you know this from the instructor perspective.
Oh, yes.
And we had a really good discussion about the instruction side of making sure that the practice is put in, which is then focused on getting those sight pictures to be consistent. And as we said, with this prescription lens and this bit of visual training, it's certainly going to help.
Oh yes, I know I have got to put the hard work in when we get all the glasses delivered.
Brilliant. So within probably 4 to 6 weeks, we'll have some glasses made. We'll get them in the post to you. We'll get you some homework, as we said, with the visual training kit to begin with. That's downloadable on either a Samsung tablet or an iPad, and then you can pair your phone to it. So we're going to borrow the Bywell Shooting Ground iPad, I think, so we might have some competitive stuff between everybody in the ground with that, but it's good fun. It can make a measurable difference. So glad it was worth that 5-hour drive, and looking forward to seeing how you get on.
It certainly was, and I'd like to thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Good.